Hey, I'm going to do a love reading for you guys today. So we're going to do what's going on in this connection for them compared with for you. And yeah, I haven't been posting this week, if anyone's noticed. I've been really sick and I've been really missing it. So I'm really grateful that I have my health back now and I can keep working. I don't know, I really just get really agitated and frustrated when I can't get anything done. But that's probably my Virgo stellium in the second house. Anyway, so yeah, so a love reading. We're going to check in with your love life. So I have 3 groups, and basically how this works, everyone, if you're new, is I'll hold up 3 crystals that you select from. Whichever crystal you feel like resonates with you, you feel drawn to, like from a heart space sort of place, that's which group will, or which tarot reading will hold the messages that you most need to hear right now. Absolutely feel free to pick more than one group if that's something that you feel called to do at any time. I think it's always just best to listen to yourself. And yeah, so group 1 will be this blue crystal. Group 2 is this white crystal, it's clear quartz. And group 3 is this labradorite. Yeah. So recap: group 1, group 2, and group 3. So I'm going to start with group 1, and we're going to pray that the audio is okay, because I don't have a really loud speaking voice, something I've always been told. But yeah, I'm trying my best, you guys. Okay, so group 1. Let's see what's going on in the connection to start off with, just in general. Oh my gosh. Okay, so group 1. I'm feeling like things are pretty heavy right now in your connection between you guys. I think for some of you guys, so basically we have the 7 of Swords, and this is telling me that someone's been kind of lying. Someone hasn't been all truthful. I just saw 2 black crows out my window, so it's definitely a sign from spirit. Yeah. We also got the Devil card. If you can see, yeah. So we have the 7 of Swords and the Devil. And this is really telling me, like, maybe someone's been struggling with some addiction to some substance. What I'm hearing is that right now one person in the connection's primary relationship is with a substance or an attachment to something. And it's not with you, you know? I'm even getting this thing of, like, for some of you guys, you may have just found out that they're with someone else, or they're, like, you're the one that they're cheating with, unfortunately. That's what I'm picking up. So that's definitely not easy, because we also have this 8 of Cups, which is really talking about quite intense abandonment themes basically going on for you. And yes, I'm just really feeling how heavy it is. It's very heavy. It's very murky right now. I'm sensing you're not quite sure how you want to move forward yet. You're not sure. You're sort of just like trying to let the dust settle, because it was almost like a tower moment in your connection that's just transpired. Spirit's really counseling you right now to stay grounded within your own self, and also to seek a higher perspective wherever possible. A higher perspective, yeah. And to also be vocal about some things. So if you haven't shared this experience with anyone yet, then I think it's probably a good idea that you do, because someone else's perspective can really help us in surprising ways. You know, sometimes maybe we anticipate that someone will be judgmental of our partner, so we want to protect them, so we don't share certain arguments or certain things that come up within a connection, but Spirit's like really counseling you to move forward with courage and to share this experience as much as you can without judgment, so that you can really see it clearly for yourself, and really to examine why certain things have been in darkness for so long, and and maybe why, like, how is this still about, I guess it's very easy in connections to get swept up in the other person's experiences, narratives, addictions, And Spirit's sort of saying, like, how is this about your relationship with you? How is this always coming back to you and your relationship with you? And it might, for some of you, mean, like, you're ready to just move on. You're ready to just get back out into the world. You're ready to see things differently and to really, like, realize, like, yeah, I'm above that. I don't need that in my life. For others of you, you know, the reason that Spirit's counseling compassion right now is because we always partner with someone who has, or we, yes, we do. We always partner with somebody who has basically the same, the perfect fit for our issues, right? The perfect fit. So sometimes it's easy, especially in certain codependent dynamics, for one person to really occupy the space of an addict or of the person who's sick or mentally unwell or struggling victim, and for their partner to occupy the space of rescuer or of the sober one or of the fixer, the one who's got their life together and who can't abandon this person who's just a mess, right? But actually this dynamic is hiding something very deep, you know, it's hiding one of your needs to be in control, one of your needs to be kind of almost, and this might sound harsh, but at a very deep level, to be better than someone else, to know that we're better because, well, at least I don't have this addiction, or at least, you know, my life's not a friggin' mess, or whatever. Or at least I'm not a compulsive liar, you know, these kind of justifications. And Spirit's saying, like, don't compare yourself ever, but also, like, compare yourself to someone you actually are inspired to be like, right? Like, set your standards kind of higher and realize that one person's issues are both people's issues in relationship because they're mirroring something deeper. Okay, we have prosperity and abundance. So I think this is also a message from Spirit that, like, there are an abundance of people out there who are interested in you and who see your value. And it's important that you see your value. You need to see your value first. We can't look externally for our validation because it will just simply never be enough until we give it to ourselves. I'm going to keep going into what's going on just in the general connection. Independent, yeah, so I think there's been codependency issues going on. And you know what? This is so much more common than probably most people would have you believe. Yeah, there's an abundance of codependency issues rampant in our world. And I think, you know, most people struggle with it to one degree or another. I guess Spirit's just saying, like, don't judge yourself for it, because once you can just see it without judgment, that's when things start to evolve. You know, I think there's a quote from a yogi somewhere who says, like, yoga is observing yourself without judgment. Like, that's literally what the practice of yoga is from, like, a yogi's spiritual perspective. And honestly, that applies to everything in life. You know, can we observe this relationship dynamic without judgment so that in some way we can be free of it and not completely a slave to these unconscious workings, yeah? Alright, I'm going to go into what's going on for them now. So your person's in a very anxious place and they'd really like to get themselves out of that, but right now they're just really in anxiety and fear. They're kind of just like living in this nightmare that they've created for themselves and picking up their self-sabotager, and that you're always there to pick up the pieces. And Spirit saying like, that you can't be this magician for them. They have to be their own magician in their own life. And even though you can see the path out of this mess, and even though you can see what would help them and what would be good for them, it's still not enough, Spirit's saying, because it has to come from them. They have to see that path for themselves. They have to walk that path. They have to make the sacrifices that are required to walk that path. You can walk side by side. You can help them. You can be their ally. You can be their partner. But you cannot walk that path in their place. And if there's any expectation from them for you to do that, then that's simply like not serving them. And if they have an expectation that you're here to fix their life, then they're friggin' deluded. You don't owe anyone anything. I'm picking up that, okay, so they're really trying to forgive right now. They're trying to have a fresh start and forgive themselves. I'm hearing forgive their past, like forgive a lot of things in their life. I don't want to get into it, but I am seeing like, you know, they've had a lot of trauma, they've had a lot of pain. It's not easy, and they're really in the nightmare of that still. So forgiveness is really what's going to set them free, but it's going to take some work. This Knight of Pentacles, it's going to take some work for this to actually happen and transpire. And basically Spirit's saying like, I think you need to decide like if you actually want to walk this path with them or not. And how much are you focusing on their path and how much are you focusing on your path? And is their path getting in the way of your path? But they want to. Like, if you want to know what's in them, like, they have a lot of hope at the moment. They see what they want for themselves. They see what they want to manifest with this magician. And they're going to go after it. They're not sure how successful they're going to be yet. But they're ready to forgive. They're ready to forgive themselves, and they're ready to do the hard work that it's going to take. They are. And once they get going, I just got a message from Spirit, once they get going on this path of rediscovering themselves, I'm hearing, you know, that's really what's going to set their life in motion. It's going to be like 1, 2, 3, let's go. Like, it's going to be they take that first step, and then things really start unraveling and unfolding for them in positive but also in chaotic ways. Because certain structures have to become unraveled for them, Spirit's saying, in order for things to progress. And that can get messy, that can look like chaos. But at the same time, they have to take this path, they have to go through that mess. They cannot just try and jump over that. That's not living in integrity when we try to just bypass pain. Part of this forgiveness is feeling the pain so that forgiveness can be true. Alright, we're going to go into your experience now. So you've been thinking about the future a lot. Oh, you love them. You love them a lot. You want a future with this person. Fair enough. You want a future with this person. And you're ready to invest in them, whatever that means, whatever that looks like. You're ready to invest in them. You're going to give your whole heart to this person, or you have. So, in that case, yes, it's really good that you're looking into the future right now, because Spirit's saying we got to get some things shifted then, you know, for this to work long term for you guys. And that's what you're doing right now. You're considering that. You're really considering, how can I invest in this situation so that it actually serves me long term? And I'm also getting a message that you really want that like flirty, light-hearted phase of things to come back. Like you're getting overwhelmed with the density of things at the moment. Spirit does have a message that things are about to lighten up. So if you are committed to this person, then hang in there, because things are about to become lighter. Alright, I'm going to do some of these Gaia Oracle cards now about your experience. Okay, so this is some positivity. We have Moonlight, Travel, Romance, and Potential, and we have Eternal Dance, Movement, Wheel of Life, and Path of Least Resistance. Yes. Oh my gosh, Path. Yes. I was just visualizing. Yes. So Spirit's just saying like all of this is in your. All of this travel, romance, and potential is available to you in this connection. Moonlight is telling me that you need to bring your feminine wisdom into this connection and really stand strong in that wisdom and offer this to your partner, regardless of what gender you are, in order to really show them that nurturing, soothing, loving, nourishing side that we all have to us, as this is really going to help them as they're, the first few steps on this path of recovery is very shaky. Now, Spirit is saying this path of least resistance is very important for you. It's very important that you follow your path, and that is your path of least resistance. It doesn't mean you can't still be there for your person, but it's important that you don't try and follow them in their path, because then you're actually abandoning yourself. That's called self-betrayal, and we do it to ourselves all the time without thinking. Spirit saying you are too aware for that sort of stuff now. Like, you have had an awakening in so many ways and in so many areas. You see so much more than you ever have been able to before, and you're putting that into action. You are walking your path. Spirit saying stay on your path, and it will take you to heaven. Okay, I'm going to do an angel card to finish, you guys. So it's going to be like just what do you need to focus on in this connection moving forward. Whoa. Got children. So if you have children with this person, then I guess the focus needs to be on those kids. If you have children in general, focus on your kids. I mean, it's pretty clear. If you don't have children at all and you're not interested in having children, this is a message around your inner child. Always, always, always it comes back to our inner child most of the time. So really it's just saying, make sure you're also giving that nourishing, nurturing, feminine, motherly, maternal side to yourself as well as to your person. I see that you are very, very loving. You are incredibly loving, romantic, charming, like you're very, very beautiful in your heart space, but sometimes you forget to give that to yourself equally. Or you just you're very good at sort of like living with the bare minimum, and Spirit's saying give yourself the abundance of this love and this care. Thank you, group 1. I really am sending my heart love out to you guys. This connection is complicated, but I really feel like there's so much hope there too. And I'm sorry if that didn't come across at the start, but I always just channel what's truthful, and I don't think it serves anyone to kind of try and make something that is just blatantly challenging, try and making that positive before it's ready to be, you know what I mean? So anyway, I really appreciate you watching this video, and thank you. So yeah, I'm going to move to group 2 now. Ooh. Wow. Group 2 is going to be your reading. So I've just got my tarot cards. I'm going to shuffle them and tune into your general energies to start with of the connection. Okay, so we have the Hermit, the Six of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Two of Cups. Okay, so you're both very in love with each other right now, or you're falling in love with each other. There's a lot of beautiful love energy between you two, and yet a lot of passion and fire and romance, like zest kind of energy. I think that you both have just, it might be a new connection, it might be something very, very fresh, because we have the Hermit followed by the Six of Wands. So the Hermit is talking about being more in isolation, and then the Six of Wands talks about victory and public recognition. So perhaps you have finally gone public in a connection that's been happening for a while, or it's been kind of hidden, or perhaps it's like you both have finally made your feelings known to one another, and so a connection could ensue. This could also be a Virgo in your life. It's very positive energy. It's very like things are really starting, or you've just had a new beginning for some of you in terms of like, I don't know, I'm hearing like sexual awakening. So maybe for some of you guys, like things were getting a bit dry in the intimacy department, so like things have really like heated up again, and it's getting really good. Overall, the message from Spirit is that there's really no need to worry in terms of if you were concerned, if your person is feeling like how you feel for them. It's very balanced in the amount that you care about each other. Let's tune into their energy as well, like now, and see. Because I almost got a message then that they care for you a little bit more than you care for them, which is not a bad thing at all. I don't believe that's a bad thing. I think in a lot of cases that can be a good thing. Okay, so their energy, yes, they do. They do care for you more than you care for them. But it's still balanced, so it's not like ridiculous, but we have this Knight of Cups. And then the Two of Cups is your connection together. So the Knight of Cups tells me they think about you all the time. You're always on their mind, and there's this very romantic, sort of like heartfelt thoughts and such. They're very pure of heart in their ideas or in their feelings towards you. There is this element of them having this fear that like it might run out with this Four of Cups, that maybe you'll get like interested in someone else, because we have this Knight of Swords. So perhaps there's someone who's a little bit insecure. Perhaps you didn't know this about them, but they do have this fear going on in them that you're interested in someone else. Maybe you are, I don't know. But that's what they think, or they're just paranoid, like they're someone who's a very jealous person, and you know, I think they see you as very like vivacious, abundant, and like magnetic, fertile. Like you have this sex appeal that is undeniable, and I think you can't help but attract attention sometimes, even when you're not trying. You know, you're just going about your day to day, and you're getting a lot of feedback from people in a positive way. So they observe this, they always have their eye on you, they're really keeping a lookout on you all the time. So this fear though they have in them, you know, it's very dense, it's very like based in their history. I think it comes from this fear of being replaced. Like I just heard that Beyonce Irreplaceable song in my head, so it's like I think that if you have really strong feelings for them and you would like to put this fear of this scarcity thing to rest in them, then just let them know that you think that they're irreplaceable. And I think that's really what's going to like strike them right in their heart center, and they'll be like, oh my God, like thank you. Because something that people don't know about seduction, ladies and gents, if you're interested in seduction, like something that we don't realize about seduction, it's not just getting someone into bed, and especially girls, like that is not you seducing a man. Like he would go to bed with pretty much anyone a lot of the time, like depending on circumstances and of course depending on who they are, etc. But seduction is when someone feels seen by you. When you see something in them that they didn't think anyone else could see, they didn't think anyone else would understand, would think was relevant or even an okay way of being. So if you see this insecurity in this person and it's really in their shadow and they don't want, they come across like this charming knight in shining armor, like, I'm here to sweep you off your feet for the rest of your life kind of deal. And then, deep down they have this thing of like, oh my God, what if they leave me and I'm not good enough and someone's just going to come along and they're going to choose them. Like that's literally their mindset. And if you just like cut through all of this like negative self-talk and you're just like, hey, you're like irreplaceable to me. They're going to be like, oh my God, she or they see me for who I am, like, oh my God. And that is something that is irreplaceable, because how often do we actually feel seen by someone? Like, it's rare, it's special, that's why, because most people are just like so self-obsessed that they don't they don't really care to see anyone else. They're too busy trying to be seen themselves. So if this is something you are interested in, especially if you're really interested in them and you want them to sort of like stay infatuated with you, then yeah, that little tip around seduction I would recommend, because I think seduction, like I said, it's certainly not getting someone into bed. It's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. Alright, let's go a little bit into what's going on for you in the connection. Okay, so you've got a lot on your mind right now. This is interesting. So, you've got a lot of priorities and you're kind of ambivalent right now, maybe about this connection, or you're ambivalent about something in your life, like you're yes and then you're no, you're into it and then you're not. It's very like you go in between, because we also have this Four of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Knight of Wands, and we have the Three of Swords. So you might have just come out of a breakup or out of something where you were lied to, or you were lying, maybe. There was definitely an element of someone lying to someone else. This is just in your energy field. Like, it's never to bring up, like, I don't know. Sometimes I think people don't realize, like, tarot readings, they're just like bringing up what's already there. They're just like, okay, this is in your energy field, and like these cards are just putting pictures to that or archetypes to that. So there's heartbreak in your energy field, there's deception, there's lies in your energy field. I'm not saying this is that you're the cause of them, but they're certainly lingering there for you. And if you want this sort of like fresh start with this Knight of Wands, like I see you wanting to just like almost like run away into the sunset, like together or something, then I think it's going to take a little bit of getting honest with yourself about something. And I don't quite know what it is, but it could be to do with this thing you have to make a decision about, or you have to say no to somebody. Maybe it's a decision between one person and another, like maybe. Yeah, and Spirit's also just saying like, stay grounded right now. Stay grounded right now. I think you're coming from a really fast-paced situation. I don't know what went down with this Three of Swords energy in your life, but something made you feel quite emotional and quite like vulnerable, and then it kind of like pushed you into needing to make a decision about something. This one, a decision about something. So, okay, so maybe you were lying to yourself about a decision that needs to be made. Look, you guys, lying to yourself is so common. Like, I'm not trying to pathologize it at all. I'm just saying, like, we do it to ourselves all the time. And lying to ourselves can even mean, like, we're believing a belief that is really long overdue to be gone. And beliefs rule us more than anything else. They really do. So, yeah, Spirit's saying stay grounded. You're going to, like, you are really inspired right now, you are really enthusiastic about things, you want to just explore, you want to cover new territory, but Spirit's just saying, like, make sure you tie up all your loose ends so that you can really feel free. Alright, let's go a little bit deeper. We're going to go into this, like, we're going to finish this reading with just the energy of the general connection, and then a little bit about, like, maybe what do you need to focus on. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of the energy I was picking up. So there's loss and there's sacred journey. So we have loss, grief, sadness, and resurrection. Yeah, so there was some grief, some sadness, some pain, and then you're ready for this new beginning, you're ready for this resurrection. Spirit's just saying, make sure you tie up loose ends, make sure you don't try and bypass the pain of it just because there's something sparkly in front of you now. Sacred journey, life cycles, family, and transformation. Yeah, I think you are transforming right now. I think you're letting go of old beliefs that don't serve you. Beliefs such as, beliefs are like so deep in us, and most people maybe they're like, oh, I don't believe that, but if you really check in with your behavior, that's how we see our beliefs, is we observe our behavior. So if someone, for example, we keep attracting, here's an example of how beliefs rule us. We keep attracting, for example, guys who never reply to us, or they take their sweet time to send us a message back. This happened to a friend of mine. They take their sweet time to send a message back. At some point, you have to then check in with yourself and be like, how am I influencing this behavior? It's not just one guy who's bad at messaging. It's every single person that I date, for example. Then it's time to examine, okay, so when did I first start feeling this way? When did I first start feeling like my time wasn't important? I'm not a priority, da-da-da-da-da. And then it all unfolds, right, out of us. And then we realize, oh my God, back when I was 5 years old and my mom would never pick me up from school on time, I developed this belief I wasn't important, I was the last priority, and no one should ever try and make time for me. This is how beliefs are formulated, and this is how they continue to rule our life as adults. So as an adult, part of our responsibility to ourselves is to go back to when we were children and to figure out, why did I start believing that? Most of the time our beliefs don't serve us, and we have to weed them out, from a garden, weeds from a garden, and replant things that do. Okay, I'm going to finish with an angel card around what do you need to focus on in this connection, group 2? There were 2. Support. Look at that imagery on that card, I love that. Yeah, it's call on your angels, call on your spirit guides. I think you need an injection of spirituality to really help you see that this is a turning point in your life that you're going to look back on and think, wow, I made it through that time. I'm so strong. I'm stronger than I thought I was. Because we also have enchantment. So this is a message saying you're going to fall in love with life again, or you are right now, and it's beautiful. Okay, thank you, group 2. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I really enjoyed channeling for you. And yeah. Just getting ready for group 3. Okay, hello group 3. This is your reading. So I'm going to tune into the energies of your general connection. Okay, so we have death, so you might be dealing with a Scorpio, a very hard-working Scorpio. I think your Scorpio or your person doesn't have to be a Scorpio. I think they're focusing on work a lot right now, and it might be causing a little bit of anxiety on you, or a little bit of questioning their integrity, maybe, because you're I think honestly what's going on in this connection is that they're really focused on work because of the message I'm getting is that their self-worth is tied up in what they do, what they own, and like how they look, their appearance, or not their appearance, but like how people perceive them. And you're kind of like not really operating from that place very much. So when you see them putting all of this time into this work, I think at times you kind of like, you're reflecting and you come to some like not so accurate conclusions, basically. I think sometimes you're feeling like paranoid that they're cheating on you. But I don't think, I mean, we'll look deeper, but this is not the feeling I'm getting. The feeling I'm getting is that this connection is calling for a transformation from you both, a transformation for you both to start having more truthful communication with each other and perhaps putting up more boundaries with each other as well. Just going to keep going into this connection. Yeah, so there's a lot of generosity between you guys. You guys are really generous with each other, with your love, with your time, with your resources. Now this is interesting because we have the King and we have the Queen of Swords. So I'd say you guys are a match made in heaven, albeit perhaps a very intellectual couple or partnership. Perhaps at times too in your heads, too much like going on in here and not enough going on between you in the relational space. But you guys are perfect for each other, and I think you really enjoy, like I'm picking up that you both really enjoy how each other complements each other. Like you both complement each other's ability to be assertive, to have boundaries, but also to like have space in a connection. That sort of dance between intimacy and space is really natural for you both. Now we also have the Hierophant, so this could be some kind of I'm getting a message that it's like an authority figure from some sort of institution. So it might be like your person's boss or something is kind of like somehow in the energy of your connection right now. So that is interesting. Perhaps they've been like giving your person way too many hours, or they've been messing them around at work. Something's been going on with an authority figure. Maybe it's a policeman, maybe it's a lawyer, you've been dealing with court stuff, maybe it's a religious figure, maybe it's a parent, like a father figure. I don't know why, but I just picked this up and that's exactly what I felt, so that's just in your connection. Maybe we'll clarify a bit further. Oh, okay, so we have the Ace of Wands in the World, so I think that like, honestly, I think you're both in this position of feeling like the other person is the one. Like, look no further, I found my world, I found the one that's for me on this world, on this earth. Interesting, I think this is also a message around travel could be indicated for you both and could actually be really helpful for your connection of the kind of like broadening your horizons a little bit or something like that. Yeah, there's also a message around there being this new beginning in terms of like your sexual connection too, which is really, really positive. And kind of like Spirit saying like, be adventurous, like take some risks and like put yourself out there, because your person thinks so highly of you and they just see you as this absolute perfection, you know, so beautiful and so strong and sexy and together and powerful and yes. So it's like, go for it, if that's what you want. Alright, let's go into their energy. Yeah, they're really focused on work right now. That's what I thought. They're like obsessed with work. We've got the Ace, the 3, and the 10 of Pentacles. We also have the Page of Swords, which is about getting your ideas out into the world. So it might be that they're starting their own business, or they're starting at a job that they're really enjoying, or they just want to make a really good impression on people right now, and they want to like show their worth, and they want to be really generous with you. Like they're the kind of guy or girl who really wants to like be able to provide either for themselves or in relationship, like providing for their partner or providing in a way for themselves that allows them to be incredibly generous with their partner. So, like I said, it could be like a new job or a new business venture, but at the moment it's requiring a lot of their time and energy, and they're really working hard. They might be in a team setting, or they might be starting to need to hire some people right now to really help them, because I'm seeing their business expanding, or I'm seeing their financial situation expanding quite a lot. And they're really moving into this Ten of Pentacles energy of stability. And I think Spirit's really saying, oh my gosh. Spirit's really saying, like, this work opportunity is really going to give them the world. So have patience with them, and have patience that this is like their dream. It really is. I think they're paving the path to their dream. Now, there's also a message that they would like a family with you, or they see you as their family, or their, you know, like the one that they want to grow old with kind of thing. Some people I know don't want to have children and such, but this is also they're very concerned with like leaving a legacy, with having something to show for their name. Like I said, they are quite concerned with their people's perceptions of them, and I'm really getting a message that they're a Scorpio, but like take what resonates. Or a Taurus, Scorpio or Taurus. They're really just like wanting that, it's sort of like they almost have this idea in their head of like, I'm just going to put things on hold with like my person until I feel really like stable and secure in my job, until I've got this foundation laid, until I know I'm going to be ascending to the heights of success, you know. And I guess this is fair enough, because, you know, it's true that at some extent we do need to focus on different things at different times. I guess Spirit's acknowledging that sometimes you don't feel like you're enough of a priority, and that might mean you need to let them know. Let's go into your energy and see how you're dealing with it. So I think you're waiting for a change right now. You're waiting for them to like finally feel like they have had their break, or, you know, they've got enough, and you're kind of getting a bit frustrated because we have this Knight of Wands, so it's almost like you want to just go off into the distance and, you know, have that new beginning and explore and be enthusiastic, maybe travel. I'm seeing you guys want to do that, and yet they're really tied to their work right now. And like I said, you're waiting for this change with this Wheel of Fortune. You're waiting for the expansion of their business and for things to take off so that you can feel free. Because we have the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Cups. So interestingly, I'm feeling like this is how you're feeling in the connection. Like you're feeling anxious at times and like a little bit abandoned and like unseen or like looked over, because they're focusing so much on work, and you're kind of like you feel sometimes like they don't, not that they take you for granted, but, you know, there is this expectation from them like, well, you're my one, so like what's the big deal? And you're like, yeah, but I want to feel like I'm your one like every dang day. You know what I mean? Like not just when you have time, like once a week. So yeah, I think this is really what's putting strain on your connection, but Spirit is offering you peace of mind in that there is a shift coming, and, you know, your person's working hard and they're gonna get there. They've got everything in place and they're really gonna get there. And travel will come to you guys in time, Spirit saying. It's gonna happen. Okay, now I'm gonna do a few oracle cards about the connection. Peace, dissolving unwanted or disturbing thoughts. So yeah, I think this is around your self-talk, around, you know, they don't spend any time with me and they don't love me, you know, that kind of stuff, which is so easy to go into. So there's Eight of Cups again, abandonment issues. I think it's a real Spirit saying like this is an opportunity for you to love yourself. This is an opportunity for you to be like, they're not spending time with me, whatever, I'll spend time with me. I'll wine and dine me, you know, like that kind of thing. And it's not easy, but like peace is like a quiet mind. You know, I equate peace to a quiet mind. And sometimes having a quiet mind actually takes a bit of work, you know. It might not come naturally to us. Maybe we have to challenge disturbing thoughts, or just like totally disidentify from them, because the truth is our mind is not who we are, you know. And sometimes we just give way too much weight to these ridiculous thoughts that we have that are just these worst case scenarios playing out in our head. Like, oh my God, he's gonna leave me, you know, or he's died in a car accident, that's why he's an hour late home. You know, this kind of stuff it's not true. It's just not true. And it really hurts us. So I think Spirit's saying, like, stop identifying with these thoughts that make you feel bad. Obviously, it's not as simple as that, but especially the ones where it's like narratives around betrayal or abandonment, it's just not true. And I think, like, maybe you've tried to go to your person about this and be like, look, I get really anxious when, you know, you don't reply, like when you're not home at this time, or when you have to work another 3 hours overtime, whatever. And they're kind of like, well, what's the big deal? And you're like, well, it makes me really anxious. And I think it's like, maybe like them not giving weight to it is an opportunity for you to soothe yourself, I guess. I think that they're not going to give you a lot. They probably don't understand what you're going through. I still think it's important that you talk about it with them, but maybe you need to figure it out in your own heart space a little bit deeper before you can bring it to them in a way that will make you feel seen and heard. I think there's a certain amount of you needing to take responsibility for your thoughts and your feelings and really soothing yourself, so that it's almost like, otherwise they might feel like pushed away by the intensity of your anxiety, if that makes sense. Okay, let's do some friendship. Yeah, and Spirit saying don't forget that you guys are friends. Like, I'm hearing best friends as well as lovers, or as well as partners, and like, so don't forget that. Don't forget that this foundation of your friendship is so important for your future, and that like love connections go through cycles, you know. Sometimes there's a lot of intimacy and closeness, and sometimes there's a lot of distance and people focusing on themselves in the connection. So it's like, also there's a message, befriend yourself. Spirit saying befriend yourself. You're so like lovable, and sometimes you don't see that. Okay, and then we do one more. Guardian angel. It's beautiful. Yeah, so you have angels with you. You might have deceased loved ones with you, and these beings we are able to contact them if we need to. Spirit saying you are protected, you are guided, you are loved, you are lovable. It's time to start replacing those unwanted thoughts with positive affirmations. I am statements. I am lovable. I am enough. I am successful. I am loved unconditionally, etc., etc. And really do that work and become like, I don't know if this resonates, but I just heard become your own guardian angel, like within your own mind, you know? Protect yourself. Don't become a victim to your own reality or your own thoughts. Thank you, group 3. That's all I have. Yeah, I hope that it did resonate with you at some level. And I'll be back soon. Bye.